What's up, gamers? It's Sal, aka Sonora Sims. I know it's been a while. Most of you probably won't even remember me. I ran this channel a couple years ago, but I decided I wanted to start fresh and start over, so I cleared out the channel, and I'm gonna start making Sims videos again. I still play The Sims every day. It's still my favorite, so we're bringing it back. And what better way to bring this channel back than with a series I had on my old channel called the Random Wheel Challenge, or the Wheel Spin Challenge. This is something that Lil Simsy has done a couple times, and I'm sure other YouTubers have done as well. But it kind of adds some of the chaotic elements of The Sims 2 and 3 into The Sims 4, and I just think it's really fun. So why don't we just jump right into it, and I can kind of tell you more about myself and the situation as we go through like the speed cast and stuff like that. All right, so I've got the wheels open. We have 2 wheels to start us off, just like last time, for those of you who remember. This first wheel is the Wheel of Worlds. It will also serve as the Wheel of Occults. So whatever world we spin, our sim will be like an occult that fits in that world if we get something like Moonwood Mill or whatever. So that kind of also adds some spice to the game. And then we also have the Wheel of Playable Careers. So it's basically any career where you can like participate in it rather than just going into the rabbit hole. So I guess let's start with the Wheel of Worlds. While it spins, I just want to tell y'all that I do have my cat with me, and she does think she's a part of this video, so if you hear any noise, it's her. Oasis Springs. Okay, not bad. That's a big world, and it reminds me a lot of where I currently live, in the Sonoran Desert, of course. So that's actually really fun. I'm excited about that. Too bad we can't be in a cult, though. All right, next up is the Wheel of Careers. So we have all of our playable careers here. So let's give it a spin. I guess the scientist one makes the most sense for Oasis Springs because it takes freelancer. Okay, so I think there's the freelance artist, freelance writer, freelance programmer, and then I think there's like one more. Oh, freelance maker for like the eco lifestyle one. So you know what? I'm gonna throw together a new wheel, and we're gonna spin to determine what type of freelancer we're gonna be. So I think there's artist, writer, programmer, and maker. Okay, so we are just gonna spin this guy really quick and just see what happens. Are you all ready? 3 wheels in one video. This is getting kind of crazy. Okay, we are going to be a freelance maker living in Oasis Springs. So I think for that career, you need the, there's like that 3D printer kind of item, but it's like really ugly. You know, it's like that white thing. And then there's also the fizzing station guy. So I think you make sodas and stuff in the freelance maker career also. So we'll do that. Maybe since we're gonna be a freelancer, we could also have like a small business on the side where we like sell our made stuff if for whatever reason the person doesn't accept it on the freelance jobs. Because I don't think being a freelancer pays super well. So we're gonna have to figure out how to get by. But in the meantime, I'm gonna switch over to my game, get it loaded, and then we are going to start doing casts and stuff.
Several days later.
Sped up gameplay footage contains flashing lights and colors. Okay, so we're jumping into Cass here with our brand new sim who is going to be our kind of guinea pig here. Her name is Araceli Contreras. We're gonna call her Ara for short. I think that's kind of cute. So I kind of wanted to make her kind of like a nerdy, intellectual kind of sim. Because, you know, she's a maker, so she probably spends all of her time either looking through the garbage for parts or in her shop. And so I figured she was kind of more on the introverted side and definitely kind of a reader, very much quieter, smart, that kind of person, you know? So I spent a lot of time kind of getting her face just right. And I wanted to give her some glasses, of course. And I had to pick a hairstyle that I felt really characterized somebody who was spending all of their time making. So at first I kind of wanted to go with an updo. Because it made more sense, you know, she keeps her hair out of her face. But then I found this nice, like, down hairstyle with these cute bangs. And I kind of wanted to go with that. I figure, you know, she can pull it up while she's working or whatever. So next, we can start moving on to her outfits. I used almost all Clumsy Alien clothing. If y'all have never gone to Clumsy Alien's page, they have an amazing selection of kind of, like, it's not necessarily cottagecore, but it's kind of like retro, kind of vintagey inspired clothes, and I felt like they really fit this sim and just made her look super cute. And so I had a lot of fun dressing her in the different clumsy alien clothes. And as a general rule, I try to create at least 2 outfits for everyday hot and cold weather. Because, you know, I'm looking at the sim all the time. They should at least have a couple different outfits, right? So I went ahead and I put her in a bunch of different outfits and kind of experimented with like fits and stuff, because it was difficult for me because I love this one top that we're looking at right now, but I had a hard time fitting it with like a bottom, and it was just, it was a challenge. So, but anyways, after that we did winter, and then we move into, I think formal is next. Usually for formal, I start a lot of my sims as teens, and usually I do like a prom look, because, you know, when you're a teenager, that's the formal event. Well, that didn't really apply to Ara here, because she's a young adult. So I kind of figured, like, what would she wear to, like, a wedding? And so I picked this outfit. And then while we're going through, like, her athletic and sleeper, that's not as exciting. I'll go ahead and tell you all a bit about what I did in the world. So I'm recording this quite a while after I did the first part of this recording, because I spent the last couple days completely redoing Oasis Springs, like, townies and stuff. So I gave makeovers to all of the townies, you know, like, kind of put them in my style, and then some of them I changed their clothes, some of them I didn't. And then Oasis Springs only has like 3 families in it, right? You got the Landgrabs and Johnny Zest, so I guess it's 4. And then you have the roommates family, and then you have the Caliente Lothario situation. And so what I ended up doing is I added at least, I think it was like 5 or 6 new families, because I put in some apartment complexes. So there's a condo complex, and then Ara lives in, like, I don't want to call it a trailer park because it's more of like a mobile home park. But anyway, I'm gonna pause yapping about that for a second, because we're gonna be moving into the part where I spin her around and show you all the outfits. So I'm very proud of these. Here's her formal wear, athletic wear, sleepwear, kind of simple party wear, swimwear. She's got 2 hot weather outfits. Am I gonna show you the other one? Yes. And then she also has a couple of cold weather outfits, and I just think she's so pretty. I absolutely love her. I made her a whole family in Oasis Springs. She's got 2 parents, and she has a younger sister. But yeah, there's her face. She's so gorgeous. I'm actually really proud. I have a hard time making Sims with like unique faces, so I really enjoy making her. Anyways, we are gonna move on to the build. Okay, so we've got a lot to get through here. So I sped it up as best I could, but it is just, it's a lot. So I actually built 2 mobile homes. They're double wides. For those of you that don't know, I live in Tucson, Arizona, and there are a lot of people who live in mobile homes here. I see them all the time. I work near a couple of mobile home parks, and they sell the mobile homes kind of near the mobile home neighborhoods. And so I see them and they're like double wides. They're not all the same. And I'm like, I kind of thought they were. And so I went online, I looked into it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's actually like a lot of really cool like floor plans and stuff for these. So I decided I would try to build a couple of them here. So Araceli is going to be living in the one that's kind of to the right, and then she's got kind of a crazy neighbor who lives in this other one. I'm gonna show the furnishing of Araceli's apartment or house or home, but I'm not gonna bother with the neighbors. She's an interesting character though, and I did make her and move her in, and so I think y'all will enjoy getting to know her. But yeah, so I built this park, and I built a lot of apartments before. I really love building apartments. I've lived in a lot of apartments. I think I mentioned in one of my old videos that I removed that I've lived in at least, let's say there was, I think I've lived in at least 4 different apartment complexes in the last few years, because, you know, I was in college, and when you're in college, you know, you have to move out and go home at the end of the summer. Well, you don't have to, but I did, and so I would go home and then come back and move into a different apartment. So I lived in at least 4, and they all have their own character, and I love, like, you know, how communal and individual spaces are separated in apartments. It's all just really interesting to me. So I love building them. I mean, For Rent is one of my favorite packs for that reason, but no other reasons. It's kind of a bad pack, but we don't have to get into that today. So anyways, I built this lovely pair of mobile homes here. And are they mobile homes or are they like double wides? Because they're not really mobile once they're down. Are they? Do they move after they put them down? I kind of thought like you bought them and then you moved them and then that was that. I don't know, I've never lived in one before, but I see them a lot, and so I thought I could build them. I used a lot of reference photos, so if you see any stops in this video, it's because I'm looking up like what these things look like and how they're built, and it's amazing to me. I mean, it's just crazy that they can move these guys around and put them down. So anyways, sorry, I'm like completely getting off topic here. I've lived in a lot of apartments. I love building apartments. I love building small units and having community spaces. I think it's important. And so I put a lot of love into these pair of units because I wanted Ara to have a place to live that kind of seemed realistic for someone her age. My husband and I were very fortunate. We have a house, but we're young, and a lot of our friends don't. And I kind of thought it would be more realistic if she lived in something that was between like an apartment and like a full house. So I put this together. Anyways, let me get back to talking about the families that I've put in here. So she has her parents and her sister. Her parents live on a ranch up in the kind of top left section of Oasis Springs. I don't remember what it's called. But her dad's like a rancher or whatever. And then she's got a younger sister who, if I remember correctly, is kind of a brat. So she's gonna be causing some trouble, I'm sure. And then there's like all these complicated interpersonal dynamics, because what I hate about The Sims is when you load into a game, it's like, for example, Johnny Zest, it's like, okay, he was, you know, kicked out of the land grab house, but he has no relationship with any of the land grabs, like familiar or otherwise. They don't hate him, they don't know him at all. He's just some guy. And I mean, I guess if like it's a full separation, that's kind of realistic, like, you know, if maybe they really kicked him out and they wanted to completely remove him from their lives, but don't you think they'd at least like dislike him or know of him? Like, it just seems odd. And that's the case for a lot of the other ones. Like, they say, oh, you know, so and so are seeing each other, but then they don't actually put any relationship between them in the game. And so I decided I wanted to put in some of that complexity between the townies. So Ara has a friend, I think her name is like Christine or something like that, and she is dating a guy whose brother is like seeing Ara's sister, and it's just this whole, like, I actually put a lot of effort into adding in. So I added 3 new single male Sims, and I think 2 new female Sims who are, one is single, one is taken. Yes, I think that's it. Ara is bisexual, so she could end up with whoever. I think she has a preference for guys, though, not sure. I am bisexual and I have a preference for guys, so I kind of try to make Sims that mirror my experiences. I know they shouldn't do that because the whole point of The Sims is like you get to, you know, play different lives, but it's just easiest for me to play that way. Oh, and as you can see here, I'm finishing up with this, by the way. We're gonna move into furnishing Ara's unit next, but I'm just putting like the landscaping in, and I put a lot of detail into it. I had fun with it. It looks kind of messy, but whatever, it's fun. This is much greener than Tucson would actually be. Our landscaping, our entire front yard at our house is literally just rocks. There's no grass, there's no, like, it's just rocks. And then the plants here die so frequently that our HOA had, irrigation systems installed on all of the houses so that the front yards always look nice. I mean, it's bad. So this would never actually happen in Tucson. And honestly, there's not enough, like, you know, random piles of dirt. Oh, I should have added some rocks. I completely forgot to do that. Okay, maybe I'll throw some in before we start playing. But yeah, anyways, I think I'm almost finished here. I think I'm just adding some, like, details to the roofs. And then I have to do like the apartment setup, obviously, so get them to be like 2 separate units and turn it into a residential or whatever. But I'll skip that, and let's go ahead and jump into the furnishing of Ara's unit. Okay, so we're gonna jump into the furnishing of this unit here. I managed to keep it under $20,000. I'm very proud of myself because there was a lot of stuff I wanted to include and didn't. I kind of skimped out on her kitchen and bathroom, but she has like a full shop and a nice computer. And so I figured, you know, y'all would forgive me. If you see any pauses in this, it's because my game's pretty slow, so sometimes I look away while it's loading. Also, my husband was working in his shop last night and cut his arm on his sander again. And so he had to have me come help him put a band-aid on it because he's very special. So, I don't even know how you cut yourself on a sander. Some things I'm just never gonna understand, and I just have to accept that. So anyways, I went ahead and decided to put in the essentials first. So I went ahead and bought all of the like eco lifestyle crafting things. When I was yapping earlier, when I was spinning the wheel, I mentioned the candle making, I mentioned the fizzing and the like 3D printing thing, but I completely forgot about the candle making. So I went ahead and put one of those in too. So this unit has 2 bedrooms, but I ended up moving the office into the living room. I'm doing that right now, actually. That's convenient. Because I wanted to have a spare bedroom in case someone moves in with Ara or she's a baby. Because those kind of things can happen in the wheel spin challenge. You never know. So we'll see. I was thinking that could be one of the options on the first wheel is her parents have kind of a tumultuous relationship. They're having a hard time right now. And so it's possible that either her mom or her sister could move in with her. So I was thinking of throwing those on the wheel. We'll see what happens though. So right now you can see I'm furnishing. I decided to use stuff from SixMCC. He has an incredible creative mind. And he has so many good packs, but I particularly love his stylish wood set. It's kind of like boho, and I feel like it goes so well with the aesthetic I had in mind for Ara. And so I spent a lot of time with his stuff, just getting everything in there, because I love that wood color. I love the kind of like boho vibe, I guess. And so I put some plants on the porch. I kind of imagine that, like, in addition to being eco-friendly, she's probably also kind of a plant mom. And so I went ahead and gave her like a bunch of plants. We can pretend they're live, even though they're all fake. I know they added something like that with the fairy pack, but I don't have that one yet. I was kind of like waiting for it to go on sale because it has kind of mixed reviews, and so I was like, I don't want to pay full price for it. Do I really care that much about getting the like bonus items or whatever? So I decided to just let it rest, and I will get it when the time comes because I love playing with the colts. One of those 3 single guys I mentioned earlier is a werewolf. I'm not going to tell you who, though. That's kind of part of the fun, right? But I do love playing with the colts, and so I'm excited to have fairies, but I also kind of want to wait for them to, like, work out all the inevitable issues, because this is The Sims. So yeah, I put a lot of love into that living room. I imagine we'd be doing a lot of entertaining. So I wanted her to have, like, a nice place to entertain her guests. You can also see that I moved her desk into her bedroom, which you should never do in real life. If you have a studio apartment, obviously I understand. But seriously, it's not good for your mental health to have your workspace in the same space as your sleeping space. Your mind like stays more active that way at night, and so it's better for you to move your desk away. So this is The Sims though, and it doesn't matter. And I don't care. So anyways, I put a lot of love into the living room though. A lot of clutter, a lot of like things that I thought brought the vibe together. I'm a little bothered by how the like functional items fit in there. I freaking hate the look of that 3D printer item. Oh my gosh, it's so ugly. But you know, it is what it is. There was a mod by Ravishing, maybe, or maybe it was someone else who made it look like a woodworking table, or maybe you could like do the 3D printing on the woodworking table, but I don't have it installed. I might get it later though if that thing ends up like driving me crazy. We'll see. But like I said, I got to the bathroom and I was like, oh my god, I haven't gotten a bedspread yet and I only have $2,000 left. And I was like, well crap. And so I went ahead and you know, got the nice shower and then I kind of got a cheap toilet and cheap sink. I figured maybe she can level up her handiness skill by fixing these things over and over when they inevitably break. And that tiny room to the right of the bedroom is supposed to be a laundry room. It will be. I just don't have the money for laundry right now. Isn't that fun though? She has to save up to be able to do chores. So, you know, that's fun for her. But yeah, I kind of spent some time rearranging the bedroom because I wanted to be able to fit both a set of drawers and a wardrobe item, because she has a lot of clothes, so I figured it'd be unrealistic if she only had one or the other. So yeah. Oh, also I forgot to add curtains. I should have added curtains, but like I said, I could not afford them. So it is what it is. She's just gonna embrace the natural light. I also, when I was building that bedroom, I wanted to have the window on the back wall rather than on the side, because that window at the side looks over the dumpster. But it is what it is. Also, having the fizzer right next to the dumpster is definitely an OSHA violation. Like, that is not food safe at all. But you know, I don't care. And so, here I am picking the, like, lot traits, and I think we are just about done. Yeah, oh, I went on a little tour, but, you guys can pretty much see what it is here. Okay, so that is pretty much it for episode 0. So we are going to end it here. And I will see you guys next episode, which will be the first, like, event wheel spin, and we will get this party started. So I'll see y'all then. Thanks for watching!